A new rehabilitation program in Rock County is the first of its kind in the state.
Ward Jollis gets an exclusive rare look inside the county jail, where one woman's efforts are turning the jailhouse into a house of healing.
Take a look inside the Rock County Jail, and at first glance, you'll find what you'd probably expect. But take a closer look, and inside this maze of concrete walls and metal doors, you'll also find a sanctuary, unlike any other.
It's like a hole, but it's also like a revolving door. And it's like, when do I stop? When do I stop falling into that hole? I'm like afraid of failure. I got a big thing.
All of us.
Bernice Sandoval leads a group workshop at the Rock County Jail called Houses of Healing. The 6-week program is the first of its kind in Wisconsin and is aimed at helping inmates cope and move forward with their past.
When they step into this room, they know that those walls get to come down. And they can really have those deep and honest conversations and get emotional.
A typical session looks like this. They start with group meditation, then they move on to the text, where inmates recite poems, literature, and reflect on their own feelings.
I hurt her the most, but she's always been there.
You have to sign up for this class. It's not like they tell you have to go or you're gonna be punished. Everybody in here wants to change.
Benjamin Carlson has been in and out of jail for 10 years. He joined this House of Healing group for his son.
Said my son has a certain hairstyle, he's got the top dyed blonde, and there was a guy in here, he had the top of his hair dyed blonde. And I was walking, through the unit, and I saw this guy, he was sleeping, all I seen was his head, and it just instantly reminded me of, looked like my kid. And looking at that, I'm like, I do not want him to come here. And I feel like this is a blessing in disguise.
The experience has been personal for everyone.
My daughter just turned 1, but yeah, I really miss her. I miss all the family.
All for different reasons.
Because I had to learn to forgive, not just myself, but, family members and stuff like that, because, it's easy to stay grudgeful. It's harder to forgive.
This program has taught a lot to the people in this room, and while Sandoval may be the instructor, she's not excluded. But perhaps the biggest thing she's taken away has to do with forgiveness and compassion.
Because oftentimes they feel like no one on this earth cares about them, and that's just so not true. And that's something I always try to remind them is if you think no one else cares, well, you can't say that anymore, because I do.
And since we first met Bernice for this story, some of those men have been released and are back with their families. She says she still keeps up with many of them as they return to their everyday lives.